Ladies, let me tell you something real quick. If a man misses you, he don't always say it. Now most men ain't gonna text, "I miss you," with a sad emoji and a paragraph. Away. That's not how we're wired. But just because he's silent don't mean he don't feel it. See, a man's love language, often it's action, not poetry. It's in the details, the little things he does when you're not looking. So don't get fooled by silence. A man's silence can speak louder than a shout. If he's missing you, away, he ain't posting about it. He's pacing about it. He's going through old messages, watching your stories without reacting, pulling up to places, hoping you're there. Quiet as it's kept, he's struggling, but on the low, men got pride. And that pride, it will stop him from calling you but it won't stop his heart from pulling toward you. He might not say, "I need you," but if he misses you, he'll check your status, ask your friends about you, or suddenly show up with just checking in. He's not asking how you are. He's asking where he stands. Ladies, pay attention to patterns, not paragraphs. The man who misses you won't say much, but he'll do little things that mean a whole lot. Don't wait for the "I miss you" text. Catch the signs in his silence. Because when a man's heart is involved, he won't always talk. But best believe, he'll always show. A lot of women expect men to express feelings the same way they do. You might be waiting on a long emotional message or a late night phone call where he pours his heart out. But let me break this down. Most men are not built like that. The way they were raised, the world they live in, and the pride they carry, it teaches them that vulnerability ain't strength. So when a man misses you, don't expect him to shout it from the rooftops. Expect him to show it in quiet, coded behavior. Men operate differently. You miss someone, you say it, you write it. You share your feelings. He misses someone. He might clean his car. He might get quiet. He might stare at your name in his contacts for 10 minutes straight and still not press call. It's not that he doesn't care. It's that he doesn't know how to say it in a way that doesn't cost him his armor. Because men have been told that showing emotion is weakness, and weakness is unacceptable. So what do they do instead? They show up in subtle ways. He might like your picture from 3 weeks ago, not because he wants to be seen, but because he's been scrolling through your feed, reminiscing, missing you in silence. He might bring up something random you once mentioned, as if it just popped into his head. No, mom, he's been thinking about you. That wasn't random. That was a quiet "I miss you" in disguise. Maybe he doesn't call, but he suddenly checks in with one of your mutual friends, or just to ask how you're doing. Or he shows up to that party he knew you might be at, acting like it's no big deal. Truth is, he's hoping to catch a glimpse of you. That is his way of expressing longing without using words. That's his heart peeking through his pride. You see, men are doors. They fix things. They build things. So when something's broken, like a connection between you two, instead of talking about how they feel, they try to do something to feel close to you again. That random message, that playlist he shared, that way he looked at you without saying anything. That's him missing you. That's him expressing it in a way he feels safe. Women hear through words. Men speak through patterns. So don't dismiss a man's silence as lack of care. If he's doing things that don't make sense on the surface, digging up old memories, showing up where you are, finding excuses to reach out, that's your clue. That's how he says it without saying it, not because he doesn't feel it, but because his actions are his emotions with shoes on. Ladies, don't confuse silence with absence of feeling. A man can miss you in a way that hits his chest like a brick every morning and still not say a single word about it. He could be sitting in a room full of people, laughing, playing cool, and still be haunted by your voice, your scent, your memory. That man could be aching inside, but you wouldn't know because he won't show it the way you expect him to. Men are raised with this quiet code. From a young age, they're told, don't cry, don't talk too much, don't act soft. So when he starts missing you, when the absence of your presence becomes louder than anything else in his world, he doesn't know what to do with that emotion. He doesn't have the emotional vocabulary you might have. He won't say, "I'm hurting without you." Instead, he'll bury it deep away, where no one can see it, but where it still burns. And here's what's wild sometimes: the deeper he feels it, the quieter he gets. A man can miss you so bad it steals his appetite. His focus starts slipping. He zones out during conversations. His boys might start asking, "Yo, you good?" And he'll brush it off. But the truth is, no, he's not good. He's mentally somewhere between what you had and what he lost. And he doesn't know how to pull himself out of that without you. Don't think for a second that just because he's not texting you, he's not thinking about you. He's thinking. Trust that. He's thinking about what you said, what you wore, how your laugh used to make him feel calm in chaos. way. He might replay your last conversation over and over again, wondering if he could have said something different. But will he reach out? Not always. Because for him, way, feeling it and showing it are two different mountains to climb. And let me tell you this, that internal struggle is real. He wants to say it. He wants to tell you he misses you, but he's scared of what it means. Scared of looking weak. Scared of rejection. Scared that maybe you've already moved on. So instead, way, he carries it like a weight on his chest, acting normal in public, dying a little inside in private, because that man feels everything just in silence. So when you wonder, wait, does he even care? The answer might be yes, deeply more than you know, but you won't hear it in a voice note or see it in a late night text. You'll feel it in his hesitation. You'll feel it in the way he still remembers things he should have forgotten. You'll feel it in the quiet grief he wears like cloud. That's his I miss you, spoken in a language of silence that only the emotionally observant will ever hear. Look, when it comes to men, words are cheap, actions are currency. You've got to learn to read what he does, not just listen to what he says. A man can say all the right things and mean none of it. At the same time, he might say absolutely nothing, and yet his every move screams, I still care, I still want you, I still miss you. Women often want to hear it said, and that's fair. But if you're not watching what's happening behind the scenes, you're missing the real story. A man who misses you isn't going to necessarily flood your inbox with I miss you texts. Nah, that's not his style, but he will start showing up in little ways. He'll be the first to view your stories. He'll suddenly resurface by commenting on a memory you two shared, something random, maybe even off topic. But trust me, away. It ain't random. That's him tiptoeing back into your world without exposing his heart too fast. He might find an excuse to message you that doesn't make sense. Hey, did you ever get your car fixed? What was that movie you liked again? Don't get it twisted. He doesn't care about the car or the movie. He's opening a door, but he's too proud or too scared to admit he misses the person behind it. That's a man throwing out a fishing line, hoping you'll bite, hoping you'll notice that he's still reaching in his own quiet way. You'll also notice a shift in his patterns. He used to be silent for weeks, but now he's checking in more often. Maybe he won't say much, just what's up, or hope you're good. That's not small talk. That's him testing the waters, trying to find his place again. His actions become his language. He may not say you've been on my mind, but the way he keeps coming back around, that says it for him. And you know what else? He may show care without explanation. He hears something bad happened in your life, and he sends a message. No long speech, just a, you okay? But the fact that he knew, the fact that he bothered to ask, that's his version of emotional honesty. It's not poetic, it's not dramatic, but it's real. Men protect their feelings like treasure. So when he chooses to act on them, even in a quiet way, that's big. So don't get caught up waiting on a long paragraph or a romantic confession. That's not always how men move. But if he's checking in, if he's making himself visible in your life, if he's doing small things with quiet consistency, he's speaking, not in the way you expect, but in the only way he knows how. His moves are his message. And if you read between the lines, you'll hear it loud and clear. When a man misses you, one of the first places he goes quietly, secretly, is the past. He doesn't talk about it, doesn't bring it up in conversation, but in his alone time. He's deep in the archives, old photos, old texts, old voice notes, the moments you might have forgotten about. He's playing them on a loop like a favorite song. And he don't just see the picture or read the words. He feels them, that laugh, that hug, that inside joke. He's reliving all of it in silence. He might not reach out. He might not like the post or react to the memory, but he saw it. Best believe he saw it. That Instagram story from 2 years ago where you both were smiling at the beach, he watched it 5 times, not to show you he cares, but because he needed to remember what it felt like to be that close to you. And sometimes that memory is all he has left to hold on to, so he holds it tightly even if it hurts. You won't see him crying about it, but you might see him sitting alone in his car, staring at the dashboard, lost in thought. You might notice he's been quiet around his boys, zoning out. What's he thinking about you? That one time you looked at him like he was your whole world. That one time you told him something you never told anyone else. That night you both swore you'd never lose this thing. That's where his mind goes when he's missing you, but doesn't know how to say it. And it ain't just digital memories either. He might drive past your old spot. He might stop at the coffee place you both used to go to, even though he don't drink coffee like that anymore. That's muscle memory. Emotional GPS. His heart leads him back to where he felt most understood, most loved, most alive. He walks through those places like they're haunted, because in a way they are. They hold the ghost of what you two had. What makes it even deeper is that he'll never tell anyone. Not his friends, not his family. He keeps it locked in. He suffers in silence because to him, admitting that he's hurting means admitting that he still needs something he can't control. That's too vulnerable. So instead, he lets the memories flood him, but behind closed doors where nobody can judge him, where he can miss you freely without anyone calling it weakness. So if you think he's just out there living, forgetting, don't be fooled. He's revisiting your story every time something reminds him of you. And trust me, everything reminds him of you. The songs, the scents, the seasons. And when it hits him, he doesn't speak. He reminisces quietly, constantly, deeply. Because sometimes when a man can't have you back, the only way he knows how to love you is by remembering you. When a man misses you but doesn't have the words or the courage to say it, he'll find another way, and more often than not, that way is presence, not in your inbox, not in your demons, but in your physical space. Suddenly, he's showing up at the spot he knows you go to. He's attending the event you mentioned weeks ago. He's coincidentally around. But let's be real, there ain't no coincidence in love. That's a man making a move without making it obvious. He might act cool, like he didn't plan it. You're here too, please. He's been thinking about it all day. Might have passed by once or twice before he even walked in. He scoped out the crowd. He checked the parking lot. Because before he approached the scene, he had to check his heart. He don't want to look desperate. He don't want to admit he came to breathe the same air as you. But he did. And the truth is, he just wanted to see you again, even if it was from across the room. What's wild is he may not even talk to you when he sees you. He might keep his distance. He might post up somewhere nearby, just observing. That's him battling with himself. Half of him wants to run up and ask how you've been, and the other half is frozen by pride, fear, or guilt. So instead, he lingers, hoping you'll notice, hoping you'll be the one to break the ice. Because even in silence, his presence is screaming, I still care. I still miss you. And if you do talk, listen to the way he speaks. It won't be direct, not at first. He'll keep it surface level. You good? How's everything been? But look in his eyes. Look at the way he hangs on your every word. That's not just small talk. That's a man trying to reconnect without exposing the part of him that's still wounded. He might laugh at your jokes a little too loud. Stay a little too long, ask a few too many questions. That's not a friend catching up. That's a man reaching out without reaching too far. Showing up is his way of bridging the gap he knows he messed up. Or maybe he knows time just pulled y'all apart. But when a man can't explain what he feels, he tries to feel close in the only way he knows how, by physically being where you are. It's not always a calculated plan. Sometimes it's just instinct. Something in him says, go, be nearer. Even if she don't talk to you, just be there. That presence is his silent protest against letting go. So don't underestimate that pull. If he's showing up around you again, after space, after distance, after silence, it's not random. That's not boredom. That's not curiosity. That's longing disguised as convenience. A man's feet will take him where his heart still lingers. He may not say a word, but his presence. That's him saying everything he can't bring himself to text, call, or admit. When a man misses you but isn't ready to be fully honest about it, he doesn't always come right out and say, hey, I miss you. Instead, he sends what I call emotional breadcrumbs, little messages, tiny nudges. A hey, just checking in, how's everything? Saw something that reminded me of you. Now to someone else, those might seem casual, light, no big deal. But to a man who's missing you, that message is his whole heart packed into a few safe words. See, men don't always have the emotional roadmap to say what they're really feeling, especially if there's history, regret, or distance involved. So they downplay it. They send a small text just to test the water. Because for him, it's not just a text, it's a risk. What if you don't respond? What if you've moved on? What if he's too late? That little just wanted to check on you is a nervous whisper behind the screen saying, do I still exist in your world? And if you do respond, especially warmly, you'll see him breathe a little easier. You'll feel that shift in his tone. Suddenly he's asking follow-up questions, dragging out the conversation a bit longer than necessary. That's not coincidence. That's relief. That's him thinking, maybe there's still something here. Because when a man misses you silently, even the smallest reply from you feels like a lifeline. But here's where you've got to read it right. He may not say anything deep, but he'll circle back. He'll check in again next week or 2 weeks later. He's keeping a line open, not because he wants to talk about the weather, but because you're still living in his mind rent-free. He's watching your tone. He's gauging your mood. He's studying your responses like a map, hoping one day it leads him back to you without him having to come out and say he's lost without you. And it's not always romantic in tone. Sometimes the message sounds dry, vague, even awkward. That's because he's trying to protect himself. He wants to reach out without looking like he's reaching too hard. So he asks you about something random, your favorite show, that place you used to go eat, something about your job. It's not the topic that matters. It's the connection. It's his attempt to hold onto a thread of what you two had without unraveling himself emotionally. So when those random messages come in at odd hours or after weeks of silence, don't shrug them off. That's a man battling himself. He wants to talk to you. He wants to say more. But all he knows how to do right now is check in. It's a small gesture on the surface, but underneath, it's layered with unsaid emotions, unfinished business, and unspoken hope that maybe, just maybe, you're missing him too. So ladies, let me tell you this, just because he ain't saying it doesn't mean he ain't feeling it. A man who misses you won't always announce it with words. He won't always send that "I miss you" text. But if you pay attention to the silence, to the patterns, to the small shifts in behavior, you'll see it, you'll feel it. He'll revisit your memories. Check your page at 2 a.m., show up where you are just to be near you. He'll send little check-ins like he's got nothing to say. But trust me, there's a storm behind every A, just wondering how you been. That ain't small talk. That's a man's heart trying to whisper through his pride. Because men don't always speak the same language when it comes to emotion. They don't write essays. They don't always pour it out. But when they care, really care, their behavior changes. They start orbiting your world again quietly, softly, hoping you notice without them having to say the words out loud. So don't let his silence fool you. If he's missing you, he's showing it. Just not in a way that's loud, obvious, or Instagrammable. But it's there in his presence, his pauses, his hesitation, his patterns. The truth is, when a man misses you and still loves you, he won't always say it with his mouth, but he will show it with his movements. And that right there, that's the kind of love you've got to learn how to read.